Welcome to another video from Alliance for Africa's Intelligence, where we prepare people, Africa's people, for the future of work and purpose. In this video, we'll take you through the learning experience on our platform. We find that, and we're happy about this, that many vocational training programs are beginning to pop up across the African continent, teaching people about computer science, about writing code, and sometimes about artificial intelligence. And this is all great. However, we find that there are a number of gaps within their training programs. For example, they focus just on technology and don't give a comprehensive study of technology, and then other times they don't touch on leadership and ways to help you go from being just an engineer to a leader. Well, if these are things you're interested in, or you know someone who should, watch this video, share it with them, advise them to follow our channel, and not miss a thing going forward. Well, let's get started. As you think through the learning experience in Alliance4ai, you start to realize that we're trying to fix a gap that exists in the general ecosystem. Across the world, we find that many formal educational programs find it difficult to keep up with the many progressions and new technologies that keep popping up. This is worse in many African cities, where some formal high school or university programs are 40 years behind. You end up finding that the candidates that come out of those programs are not prepared for the jobs of today or the future. The most important education or technology to learn about is artificial intelligence, and so we are providing that injection to help formal programs and vocational programs keep up with the future of work. With our packet, we help you go from being just an engineer or an AI engineer or AI robot, if you may, to becoming a leader of change and innovation where it matters. Getting started is as easy as downloading our packets, including it in your program or learning it yourself, joining our community, and growing from there. Let's share more with you as we progress. With our program, we look at several target competency levels. The first level is we'll help you understand what artificial intelligence is and what it is used for. With that kind of knowledge, you can start to prepare to be a business leader or a government official who can use AI to create value. The second competency level is around using this AI to actually solve problems. With this kind of knowledge, you can become an engineer or an entrepreneur who's taking AI that has been built already and using it to solve real problems affecting millions of people. Finally, you can learn to build these AI models from scratch. In that space, you are the rocket scientists. You are part of the 10% of people, if not less, who know how to build AI models from scratch. But as we've shared here, you don't have to be a researcher. You can be one of the engineers who's solving problems, or a business person who understands the problems that's being solved and being able to find the investment money that is needed. There are many other jobs and roles across the entire AI value chain, but these are the ones we're choosing to focus on. Now, the importance or benefits of learning through Alliance4ai. If you're looking at this, it's incredibly, we're incredibly excited for you because you have an interest in learning about AI or teaching people about AI. If you go ahead and do this alone, like a fellow on the left of the screen, we find that for the most part you end up building the curriculum by yourself. You also end up being the teacher who's standing in front of sometimes 50 to 100 students trying to answer all the questions they have. You possibly have an incomplete knowledge of the entire vast, ever-changing world of AI, and your participants afterwards are not being shown what they can do with all this information you've taught them. To cap it up, nobody in your group is actually thinking about marketing and how you're able to tell people about all the incredible work that you're doing. Now, we intend for all of that to change and be different if you become part of the Alliance4ai community, as we are a truly Pan-African body with friends from the north, from the east, from the south, and the west. Through Alliance4ai, you should get a comprehensive packet that is a mix of technical and non-technical information to help you create leaders out of your participants. Over time, our students who go through our program and follow our process learn to learn by themselves and reduce the need for a formal teacher. That way you can truly scale education and learning. We afford our participants opportunities to get recognized through our many social channels, our website, and the events that we attend. We also provide them opportunities to influence the governments in their cities, if not just their schools, as we have relationship with these bodies. From time to time, they come seek people with skill sets like the ones you're about to pick up, and we'll very quickly connect you with those opportunities, both at home and with innovators in other countries that you probably have never spoken with before. Well, I truly hope you get to enjoy these benefits of working easier and going further as you choose to learn AI. Moving forward, the packet looks a bit like this, as I mentioned, a mix of a technical side and a non-technical side. With the technical knowledge, it's as you're possibly used to. On the non-technical side, we talk about learning practices, about sharpening your knife. Think of the concept of clearing a grass and how that might take a lot of time, but if you were to sharpen the knife first, or a cutlass in this case, you would cut the grass faster. When I was growing up, I was always told what to learn. I was never taught how to learn. We would like to change that for you and help you improve, not just the way you learn, not just AI, but how you learn everything else going forward. You will find interesting work in our packet for this. We also include information that can help you become better leaders, build stronger characters, as you will know a lot more about the African innovation history. Think about history before 1400s, before we ever met colonial masters. With all of this information, you should become future-proof for your careers, be able to engage the world, build world-class solutions, and help solve important critical problems in your communities and alleviate poverty and improve lives for people. The Alliance4ai non-tech module can look like this, where first we introduce you to some content, the whole context of artificial intelligence. We show you some content that should motivate you to do some more. We take you through applications of how this can actually improve lives, and then we give you opportunity to practice. Speaking specifically about some of these, we'll take you through your career aspirations, the Africa innovation history as I mentioned before, our vision and your vision for AI for Africa. We'll speak about the power of what you've just learned in terms of the ethics and bias and how you need to use this technology properly. We'll speak to you about real Africans who are using AI today and talk through how they're applying it to fields like agriculture, healthcare, and even banking. Finally, you'll get to work on some hackathons through some of our partners like Zindi and Kaggle, and work on actual problems that are important to you and people you care about. On the technical side, we lean more towards curating content for you, as there are myriads of free content on the internet teaching you how to write Python code, how to process your data. All of that exists online, and we will share with you some of our favorite examples, like the Finland National course in AI or the AI for All course. We also share with you some lists of offline content so you can read books if that's easier and more accessible for you and your students. This list will continue to evolve, especially with your help as you comment on this video, and we welcome you to always return to the description section where we will update content like this, and you will see more examples of places where you can get access to this free information. The benefits of following our process, especially when you're going through the non-technical content, there are many of them, but the top 4 are: firstly, you will not need a teacher all the time. If you're the teacher reading this sheet or listening to my voice, I hope this makes you excited, because that means you can take a rest and just be a facilitator, asking questions, and your students are picking up, engaging, and working themselves. We're moving the participants from just being idle listeners to actually engaging the content, as we've seen research that shows that they learn a lot faster when they engage. We improve their general learning capability and give you an opportunity to allow your groups move at different pace. You can have some folks who want to move faster because they've learned it before, others who want to spend more time on the content or go through a different topic that they're more interested in. We've designed our process in such a way that, say you had a class of 20 people, they can split up into groups of 3 or 5 and move at the pace that they desire. The items to ease your class sessions, there will be a couple, but the top ones we thought about are tablets and mobile phones, because there will be some videos that you would need to watch. Sticky notes are also very important, as your participants will be asked questions by the facilitator, which might be yourself. It'll be great for them to be able to write their answers down. No wrong answers. Matter of fact, we want wrong answers because it's interesting to see how people's knowledge improves just from the 30 minutes or 1 hour they spend in your session. We'll have you capture this. Alternative is you can use large pieces of paper or a whiteboard to capture the information that they're taking, and then you will go ahead and take pictures of those responses to save over time, as your students will be pretty excited to see what they thought at the beginning and at the end of the class session. The internet also makes things easier. As much as you can access this, it'll be great, since your students can use it to access the videos, access the content, write some code, and do more. And that. So the process. The learning process goes from a space where we introduce students to the content. We provide them with more, after they've answered the trigger question, we provide them with some content that they can now explore, either in form of a video, a PowerPoint deck that you can present, or other formats that make more sense. Then they have time to reflect and discuss what's just been presented to them and see how that is different from the responses they gave at the beginning of the session when you asked the question. Then afterwards, depending on the topic of the class, they can go ahead and practice or apply what they've just learned. Don't worry, there's more text here that you can read over time that explains more of what I just described, and the more you do this, the easier and natural it gets. Here's an example on one of our modules where we discuss the career aspirations. The trigger prompt question can be, what do you want to be in future and why? Or what is artificial intelligence? After some 5 minutes of people raising their hands and responding, or writing their answers on sticky notes, along with someone in the audience capturing a video or recording the voice of what people are saying, you then expose them to some content. We've listed 4 examples in this case. What is AI? Different roles of data science. Becoming a Student for Life, the Future of Work, Career Options with AI. You can pre-select which of these you want to prioritize, expose your students to this content for anywhere from 15 minutes to 30 minutes, after which the most important part, which is why we call it red, is a discussion, where the students then talk about what was surprising about the content they just consumed, how it differs from what they thought before coming to class or your session, and how they might want that to influence the way they live their lives going forward. You will then conclude the session by either capturing some videos or some voice audio of their responses and the discussion process, or even having them write in their sticky notes what they learned in your class today. Those you can take pictures of and go ahead and post on your Facebook page. Why not? That way their friends will see what they're learning and be more inspired to join your session. That makes it all more easy for you to report what's been happening in your session. This is an incredibly important part, as this helps you continue to improve and grow your community. I see that we have swapped the qualitative and quantitative parts of this, but you should be able to pick it up as well. On the qualitative side, we would have you share the comments and videos and pictures of your student at the beginning and the end of the session on different channels as you wish, be it a social media, your Facebook page or our Twitter page. And then you can share the list of startups and success stories of people using AI on your platform. You can very easily share that on the Alliance4ai website, where we will then take it up and promote it to the rest of Africa and the rest of the world. On the quantitative side, we ask that you continue to capture the number of participants who attend your sessions. You capture the number of people who repeatedly attend your sessions, and you also look at who are the total number of new participants that join every month. This reporting structure will evolve over time, especially based on your feedback on what's working and what is not. But eventually, the objective of this is to help you continue to improve your program and prove to your stakeholders like your school and your government why you should receive more support to keep driving this forward. Now, to get started, the 3 steps. You download this packet from this video link that will include in the description section. Get your students or your professional worker friends to form new clubs and chapters of Alliance4ai, or coding schools that want to include this packet in their program. Secondly, they join our community on any platform that they like: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course definitely our newsletter, where we share 3 high quality links on technical content of AI from the world to help you stay ahead, and 3 high quality links on news of AI as it's being used in Africa to keep you inspired on how people like you are using this technology. And then finally, as we said earlier on, is reporting, where on a monthly basis you share the report as we've guided through our admin at Alliance4ai email address. The rest of this is your checklist, simple checklist, where you see you can submit an application to start an Alliance4ai chapter, or download our packet to include in your coding school. Or your club leaders, we ask that they sign up in the Alliance4ai.org website, sign up for our newsletter, and sign up for our Twitter if they desire. You create your Facebook group, which should be Alliance4ai plus your school's acronym or your company's acronym. You formalize the group within your institution different institutions have different rules to allow people to operate clubs and chapters. And then you run your kickoff meeting and start creating material for your monthly reports. The rest of this is the packet where you go through all that information we've talked about before. I'll breeze through it and go through all the way to the end and close. We welcome you to join the Alliance4ai community, where there's everything AI in Africa. You come there to find it either through our newsletter, by browsing the AI startups on our platform, or finding a tutor in your city. And if you're the champion who is driving all this AI in your space, you should tell your story on our platform. Tag Alliance4ai on any tweet, on any social media platform where you're posting information, so we pick it up and tell it for you. Or add your story to our stories page. You can even send blog suggestions to our newsletter. And together, we'll continue building the AI ecosystem in Africa. Thank you for watching this. Don't forget to add comments and share with your friends. Continue learning, and as always, let's keep growing.